Hello everyone, it's Nick here with Average Nerd DIY, and today I'm going to be upgrading the CPU on my main personal computer. So I'm going to be switching from this, which was a Ryzen 7 7800 X3D, and I'm going to be going up the generation to the 9800 X3D. So I'm going to get started. The only thing I've done so far is just open up the case, dusted things off a little bit, didn't do a perfect job. I've been neglecting the computer, but I'm going to take off the fans from my CPU cooler, and these are just little come here brackets that just wrap around, and oh boy, this needs some dusting, that is for sure. So I'm just going to set this off to the side for the moment while I try and remember how the other one's on. Same way. Don't neglect your computer. Okay, there's one, there's two. Okay, oh boy, yeah, we're gonna clean that out, but we'll do that in just a second. So there are those, and so now in here, let's see if I can zoom in and show it. There are, oh, and I don't know if I've got good enough light for it. 2 or 3 screws that I've got to take out, and then those will release it from the CPU. So let's get back to on time. So I'm going to be using LTT screwdriver. Wish I was sponsored, but I'm not. First computer thing it's done, because it's been doing a lot of electrical work here. But, oh, let's see, yeah, barely fits. Bummer. Let's see. That one is not free. There we go. All right. Ooh, I can't tell if that thermal paste has got a good spread on it, but we will fix that. That reminds me, I gotta find my thermal paste. All right. And then I will clean the tower off just a minute, off camera. So before I get into, actually, I'll clean it while it's on there, just so it's nice and secure. And so I'm using a piss bottle of 99% rubbing alcohol, so it evaporates nice and quick. And I'm just using a regular Q-tip. These will lint up a bit, and you want to avoid that, but I'm not too concerned about it. So just gonna rub that on. You can also use just a rag to get the initial stuff off. I'll probably just get the bulk of it off. Ooh, maybe I need to take it out. Just regular old thermal paste. Can't remember what brand. I'll pick it in a second, so I don't have to worry about it. It's not like the liquid metal stuff that will get down and fry everything. But now I'm gonna get this little clasp. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah. So we're gonna push down and then out, and then that just releases it. Then we lift this bracket. There we go. Now this is a, what is it? AM5 socket. So they switched to, I think it's LGA maybe. But essentially it doesn't have the pins coming out like the previous versions. So I don't have to worry about bending pins, which is fantastic. So now I'm just going to take the other side of my Q-tip, wipe that up. I'll probably clean it up a bit more off camera, but just try and get it nice and clean. I'm doing a trade-in with Newegg, so I want to make sure it's nice and good so it passed their test. And looks like I got some on the side here. I don't know if I just did this or if I did it when I initially put the paste on, but I'll clean that up. Yeah, it looks like it was when I put the paste on. Clean that up off camera and then deal with that in a second. But for storage, I'm going to be putting it in the old box because I'm going to ship it in the old box as well. All right, and so now for the grand opening. Oop. So pretty. All right, and so when you're handling it, you want to avoid touching the top because that's where you're going to be putting on the thermal paste. I'm going to have to clean mine because I touched it a little bit, but that's all right. And so now, if you can see on there, there is a little triangle in the corner, and then there's a corresponding one on the metal of this bracket, and there's also one on the lower bracket. So they make it nice and easy. I'm going to take a quick visual check. They look good. So make sure that's seated nice. Don't need to be bending the pins down below. There we go. Maybe. There we go. All right. So now we've got that closed up, and I'm going to go find some thermal paste. All right. Found my thermal paste, and so now I'm just going to take another Q-tip, clean it off. And I forgot to mention when I was first using this, the reason I'm using rubbing alcohol, and you want to use a high percentage rubbing alcohol so it evaporates quickly. So just going to do this to clean off those oils from my skin. I'm blocking the entire camera. Not very left-handed, so we're going to just do that. But it's just make sure, like I said, the stuff I left on there is off. And then I'm just checking to make sure there's not thermal paste there. And that's that. And then I'll use the rest to clean off the old CPU. There she is, pretty as a picture. All right, and so we've got this looking a little bit better. Just making sure I got a good shot of it. And then I still have to clean that, but I'll do that on camera. First, I'm going to get the actual fans out and clean those real quick. Just a quick wipe down. They're not too dirty, but just want to keep them nice and tidy. So they're bound together. They're daisy chained, so I'll be right back. Looks like this got some gouges in it. Maybe I just did that. I don't know how I would have, but it'll be fine. All right, and now we are ready for thermal paste. So I've just got this little tube of from my Thermalright, which is my CPU cooler. I like to do the X just to get it to spread out a little bit, but it's gonna spread when you put the thingy-majigger on the cooler. Technical term, thingy-majigger. All right, so now, moment of truth. I gotta put this on nice and straight. I'm just gonna check this real quick. Looks good. So now, don't think it matters. Yeah, it doesn't matter which way it goes. They're both the same. Now this, well, it's not important to do it when you're taking it off. You wanna balance the pressure. So you go a little ways and then you go back. But I was hoping I'd have a little bit more play to rock it back and forth, but it doesn't seem like I do. So we're just gonna have to evenly tighten. Hope that does a good job of spreading it. Keep going back and forth. That one's tight. And that one's tight. Don't want to go too tight, just tight enough. I get to play the fun game of how were these installed? All right, figured it out by looking at the case fans. Those I didn't install. All right, and I gotta make sure. Oh, I feel like this was wacky, but I think that will work. Doesn't matter which one goes on which radiator, but let's just make sure. Yep, actually that's right. Makes sense that they'd want their pretty little logo on the front where you can see it. Sysfan 1 is the label on my motherboard. I've got a, I forget the one. I think it's a MSI X670E Mag Tomahawk. That sounds right. Right somewhere in there where I plugged it in. Now, assuming everything went right, just going to do a quick check, make sure I installed things back in. Take the GPU out, so I need to put the hold screws back in. Where did I put them? I think I'd use the magnetic part holder that I have just off to the side, but why would I do that? And that is all she wrote. So I'm gonna go test it. I do have up-to-date BIOS. If you're using a out-of-the-box motherboard, you will want to update those first because sometimes they ship with out-of-date BIOS, so they're not ready for the newer CPUs. So hopefully don't have any issues with that. If I do have a flash BIOS button, so I can reflash the BIOS, try that, and then should be good. Just doing one last quick peek, make sure everything looks okay, and I think we are all set. All right, everyone, and it has been a few months now with the new CPU and thermal paste installed. And as you can see, the temperature is hovering somewhere in the 40s. It's actually a little bit higher than the baseline just because I'm actively recording this on my computer. So I would say it was a successful application and the CPU has been fantastic. That will be all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you'd like more content like this, as well as my regular do-it-yourself, house project stuff. Thank you and have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.